if you want more people to see your content, you can pay and we'll boost it. And, every time I put content out, they still ask me, hey, do you want to boost this content? No. And let me tell you why.
This is the Good Influencer Podcast with Julia Markham and Becca McLeod, pulling back the curtain of how this multi-billion-dollar industry works. If you're going to be an influencer, be a good one.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Good Influencer Podcast. I'm Julia Markham, founder of Good Influencer and also longtime home influencer over at Chris Loves Julia. I started Good Influencer years ago to help other influencers or other people that wanted to become influencers and mentor them along the way because I did it myself and I've been doing it myself for 16 years. And this is the wild, wild west. And so I really wanted to have a place for influencers to gain confidence, ask questions, and be transparent about this industry as a whole. I think that there's a lot of caginess with how much are you charging and how do you do this? And with Good Influencer, we are an open book. And I wanted to introduce Becca McLeod. She is the manager of Good Influencer and has been for 3+ years. And we love Becca. Hi, Becca.
Oh, it's been a great 3.5 years. I remember my interview. It was in the very room you're sitting in, but it was not blue. It looked nothing like that.
Wow.
And you and
so
Chris,
much has changed.
So much has changed. You guys talked all about all of your hopes for Good Influencer. And it's like, even like this year, we're talking about like, okay, now is finally the time we can do this big thing that we had talked about in my interview. So it's been a great time. And I've gotten to know so many amazing influencers, form so many connections. And now we're going to be reaching so many more great influencers with this podcast. So
yes, I love that Becca really is kind of the pulse of what people are experiencing in the influencer world. I have my experience and I'm so like happy that we have this podcast so I can share my experience. And then she's connecting with a lot of influencers of all sizes in our Good Influencer Mastermind. And she comes to me with like, hey, this is going on. Are you experiencing this? And we like chat and just help everyone out. So with that, we're here to help.
We're here to help. And actually, speaking of, one huge plus of the mastermind is that if there's any updates on Instagram or any platform, really, the mastermind hears it first. Also, if Instagram is down, the mastermind's going to hear it first.
Go to the mastermind.
And it's trial reels have been a big topic in the mastermind, but a little birdie told me that CLJ got trial reels.
Guys, I hope and pray that all of you get trial reels if you don't have them yet. There's a separate tab. And when you're uploading a reel, you can mark it as trial reel. And it will only go to, I'm going to read you what it says on Instagram. Like, why wouldn't you want this? It says, we're finding the non-followers who we think will be interested in your new content or in your new content. So it might take more time to get views, likes, and shares than your other reels. So these are reels specifically that do not go to your audience. Instagram, and Becca, correct me if I'm wrong, this is kind of like the ad side of Instagram where they're targeting people that aren't your followers, but you're not paying for it.
It's like the ads algorithm that you typically don't have access to unless you're running ads on like Facebook Business Manager, which we have really gotten into on the Good Influencer side. So we've been using that for a while. And when I heard that trial reels gives you access to that algorithm for free without paying to boost and only helps your engagement, it was mind blowing.
Like, this is the complete no-brainer. And so we immediately took action. And this is how we're using trial reels. And disclaimer, or maybe this is like the ultimate motivation. We have gained almost 5,000 followers in 2 weeks using trial reels. All we are doing is we are reposting our most successful reels that we've created over the past couple years, just re-uploading them as a trial reel. None of our followers are seeing these. They're in a completely separate tab. And some of them aren't hitting. Some of them it's like, 13,000 views. And then some of them it's like 2 million views.
Incredible.
1.9 million views. We had a reel only get 7,000 views, and then we had one get 65,000 views. And the great thing about this is, one, we're reusing content. Two, there's no like harm. It's like none of my followers are seeing this old content. And so there's not like a lot of like, wait, didn't you do this? My followers are like so locked in on everything I do. Like they could tell me what I had for breakfast yesterday before I could. I'm so protective of like the timeline because I know that they're watching closely. But with the trial reels, we can just upload successful past content. Now, one thing that we've noticed from this is, gaining almost 5,000 followers in the past 2 weeks that we've done this. We have been uploading about 6 a week, 5 to 6 a week to trial reels. Again, just old content. You have the option of making it go live in your feed after 72 hours. We've unchecked that option. We don't want this to go live in our feed after 72 hours. However, another way to use this is to try out a new reel that you want to see if it could be successful by first publishing it to trial reels. And then if it's gaining some traction, then publish it to your audience as well. I will say the ones that we've gained the most followers from, like we uploaded one, it got 2 million views and we gained 6 followers from it. And then one that has it's like 1.6 million views, we've gained almost 3,000 followers from it. And the difference between those two is really significant. It is the one that we gained almost 3,000 followers from has me in it. And this is a lesson that we talk about with our good influencers all the time, is people get attached to people. Sponsors want to sponsor accounts that have people in it. People want to follow accounts that have people in it because that's what they're attached to. They want that relationship with the influencer themselves. And so it's really low stakes to do trial reels. And it's also told us a lot about our content and what really is affecting our follower count. And that is including ourselves in the content and then it going, viral and people will follow along. Now, I will say this. Because we're kind of using it as this like passive follower grabber, I have not spent time answering comments over there. And honestly, as you would expect from millions of non-followers seeing your content, the comments can be a little rough. Just don't look. I don't look, and it's very like, hey, this is our passive stream of followers, and once that they become followers, I really do try to answer all of my comments in my reels on my main page. But that's kind of how we're using trial reels.
Which is great. And I want to there is a lesson here, and I want to offer a word of caution to anyone listening to this and trying out trial reels, is every video CLJ has uploaded went viral in the past when it was shared to the main CLJ feed to followers. That doesn't always translate to going viral in trial reels. And that also means vice versa. So if you're trying out a new piece of content, you put it on trial reels and it doesn't perform well, that doesn't mean that it 100% is not going to perform well for your audience. I just don't want influencers to get caught up in every piece of content I push to trial reels first and then I delete it if it doesn't do well, because that would be so much unused content, and how exhausting to just feel like, it's got to go out on you. You got to post some stuff to your feed sometime.
Absolutely. Like, don't be afraid. And I think that this is something that has given us that, like, let's try it. And I hope that influencers go at it with that mindset. It's like, let's try it. And I think that's so wise to like say like, oh, this reel that went to our page previously had 13 million views on it, and on trial reels it only got 15,000. And so don't let that be kind of the distinguishing factor, hard and fast rule that like, oh, if it goes well on trial reels, it'll go well in my feed. Good point.
Right. Okay, well, taking us into kind of today's topic, I feel like we have to address the wildfire of inorganic engagement and followers that's going on online. And I got this question in the mastermind the other day, and I thought it was like so valuable to bring to the podcast. She said, "Do you all find success in finding other influencers with similar sized audience and complementing pages and doing a big giveaway where people have to follow all of the influencers in the giveaway to win the prize? And essentially, does this have the potential to keep followers after the giveaway ends?" No.
Oh my goodness. No. This is an incredibly common practice. Okay. I'm surprised people are still doing this.
I know.
But I do think that if you're asking this question, you're in the right place because we're here to guide you on what to do and what not to do. So the reason why, and we call them round robin giveaways, where you have to follow, a whole line of different influencers, and then you get either a pot of money or a big prize. Some of it's like a trip for your whole family to Disney World. And I know, like, for a lot of people, that's really difficult to pass up. Everyone in that group might gain 11,000 followers in a week because that's how many people are like hungry to go to Disney World with their family on your dime. Okay. Like, sure, that part of it might feel like, oh, wow, this is really working. Then you announce the winner. Okay. And there's one winner and 10,999 people who don't know who you are, aren't actually interested in your content, just wanted to win, see that they didn't win, and you have a mass unfollowing. And in reality, like, this is another way of buying followers. And I know that's controversial to say, but it's undeniable. So what I would like to see instead of doing that is take time. I love the word, actually, when you said, the question said similar size audience and complementing pages. And like, that's actually a great way to gain followers, is find those other influencers within your niche that have complementary audiences. You are so on the right track, and start engaging with those influencers.
Absolutely.
Authentically. Start commenting on their stuff. Start responding to their stories. Really interact with them. Share their content in your stories and tag them. That's one of my favorite tips, because a lot of influencers, one, that gives them just a great feel-good boost. But two, a lot of influencers will reshare a story that they're tagged in. And because it's just like it's just like a make good, drawing nice attention around. And I've seen so much success in commenting on other accounts within my niche with my secret sauce is like a witty, funny comment that is authentic and truly like responding to their content. And then like people start liking my comment and it gets to the top, and then people go check out my page, and wow, I have more followers that are sticking around for my content than that round robin now that bled followers for 2 weeks.
Right. And I mean, you talk about the concept of buying followers, which the FTC, our favorite people, banned last year. But round robin giveaways, boosting your posts, like your own personal posts, and also engagement groups, which I'm sure, like, if you've been influencing for a while, you've definitely gotten an invitation. They're usually chats within Instagram where influencers will come together and say, if you're a part of this group, every time you post, let us know and we'll go engage on it. Gives you a little bit of a boost in the
Yeah.
beginning. One, that doesn't really work because Instagram looks for unique engagement after you post. And so if the same people are commenting immediately, it actually won't help you that much. But as enticing as these may seem,
Thank you for saying that, Becca, because there's a difference between like, oh, help me out, and then creating false engagement.
right.
And it's amazing that Instagram doesn't even recognize that anymore.
Right. And like, as enticing as they may seem, a word of caution is that all three of these things, boosting, round robin giveaways, and engagement groups, inflate your engagement, which when you go to work with brands, you cannot get an accurate snapshot of your analytics and they aren't as likely to work with you because you have like put money behind your posts, you are getting influencers to comment in exchange, or you are
Mm-hmm.
essentially paying money in a giveaway to get people to follow you, which are not organic ways. So when it comes to that sponsored post that doesn't have any of those things, you're going to be missing that engagement. The brand's not going to want to work with you again.
Let's talk about boosting for a second because it seems like, well, this should be the right way for me to get eyes on my content. And Instagram knows this. This is like
Uh-huh.
Instagram's like, they're like, yeah, if you want more people to see your content, you can pay and we'll boost it. And, every time I put content out, they still ask me, hey, do you want to boost this content? No. And let me tell you why. I'll tell you two stories really quick. One is a good friend of mine, big influencer. She boosted her content when she was on her way up. This is kind of as she was doing great content, but she really wanted to grow as an influencer. And so she used boosting as part of her marketing and she paid Instagram to boost every one of her reels, photos, carousels. Um, and she grew fast. She probably gained 700,000 followers in probably 8 months.
Crazy.
Then she got to this number that she, I guess, felt good about. It was 1.5 million. And she was like, hey, and then this is someone I know personally. She's like, hey, I feel good about this number and I don't feel like the need to boost any more of my content because I have a healthy audience now. I have this huge 1.5 million audience and they're around. They're going to engage in my content and I know just from this huge audience that I'm going to be seen. Wrong. Once she stopped paying Instagram to boost her content, Instagram stopped showing her content. When they know that you will pay to play, they will make you pay to play. So that engagement that you're getting from boosting, once you pay for it, they know that you will pay for it again. And they're going to like dry it up so much to the point that you will pay for it again because it's like they got you right where they want you. And we've seen this in our own content because I've heard from a lot of friends like, oh, as soon as I stopped boosting, my engagement sucked. And I was like, yeah, and they said it takes about 6 weeks to even like get back on track because that's how long Instagram's basically going to put you in engagement jail, like trying to get you to pay again. We've never boosted our own content. I've from the very beginning on Chris Loves Julia, I've been very adamant. Like, I want this to be an organic audience. I don't want to pay to play. Anyone that's here, I want them to be here because they're interested. But we've had sponsors that are part of their contract, they've paid for either whitelisting or boosting. And I have seen with my own eyes that it takes at least 6 weeks after that boosting period is done, from after they boosted their sponsored content, for our engagement to kind of get back to normal. And it's a tough period of time. And I just don't recommend it at all.
And you stopped offering that option to brands to boost
Yes.
sponsored posts. What was like, because we always recommend people charging for that, but was there any amount of money that was worth giving up that engagement?
Honestly, no. And that's where we ended up. There's no amount of money that a sponsor can give me to basically hurt my engagement for any amount of time for their gain. It's like they're gaining, all of this eyes on their sponsored content. Well, I'm not that brand. I'm my own brand. And right now, I look like all I am is this like spokesman for this sponsorship. And so we just decided there's no amount of money that a sponsor could pay us to boost our content. We've taken it out of every contract and we tell them, hey, and we show them examples like these are sponsorships that we've done in the past. Engagement is through the roof. We just did a sponsorship for Lowe's. The reel has I know it has over 6 million. It might be close to 7. And I'm like, this is an organic content that we've created for a sponsorship. And the key is like, we try to make our sponsorships completely seamless into our content. We spend a lot of time brainstorming on how can we create content that feels like content that they would see if it wasn't sponsored? What can we do that just feels like us? And we've had to have those talks with sponsors, and now it's not even on the table. Something we do offer is whitelisting. And whitelisting goes on that same kind of like ad algorithm that we talked about with the trial reels, where this is a whitelisted sponsorship that's going out to people that aren't our followers. And so, and it's a great way for people to discover us and, we can gain some followers from it, but we charge 100% of the contracted rate. So for instance, if we're doing a story set for, I think I already mentioned how much we charged, didn't I?
You did. They know.
So if we're doing a story set for $15,000 and then the sponsor comes back and they're like, hey, this did really well. Can we whitelist this? That means, can we put this on the ad algorithm where your followers aren't going to see it anymore, but we want to push it out to people that don't follow you for a month? That is an additional $15,000. Even if I'm not re-recording anything, it's just they now can use this for whitelisting. And we charge per month on that.
Right. And I mean, there is so much like licensing is a different language. And if you're working with brands and you're seeing these contracts, you probably understand that, which we go over in depth in the Good Influencer courses. And then also in the mastermind, people will share snippets of their contract and say, what does this even mean? This is asking for whitelisting or allow listing. Fun fact, they're the same thing, just different words brands use. But when it comes to boosting and whitelisting, we go over all those things to make sure you're not getting caught in any traps of giving away your content.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this and you're like, wait, I need help, or I have questions, or I would love someone to tell me how much I should be charging, those are all things that we do in the Good Influencer Mastermind and in the Good Influencer courses. So come join us over there.
Come join us. I have one last question for you because I actually got this during a mentorship call the other day. Someone said, I follow, these really big accounts and they do monthly giveaways and they boost posts and they do round robin giveaways. And like, what do you have to say to that?
First of all, I have to say, like, you have to feel good about what you're doing. And for me, I've always felt like followers will come and go. Fun fact, if I gain 10,000 followers a week, I'm losing 4,000 followers a week. Followers come and go.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't be scared from every follower that you lose, and don't be excited with every follower that you gain. Be focused on quality, consistent content. That should be your focus. Your focus should be engaging the audience that you have. Your focus should be making sure the audience that you have trusts you. If you want to give away something that has to do with your niche, do it. But focus on quality and consistent content within your niche and gaining the trust of your audience. I focus less on follower count, honestly. I always want to see my follower count in the green because that means I'm doing something right and I'm attracting new followers and my content is engaging. But the idea is to not have this massive following of people that are uninterested in my content, are interested in the products that I have to share, and are invested in me as a content creator. It's just so hard to get those invested people with these quick grabs. And I think we're really in Good Influencer, we're really focusing on the quality of the follower instead of the quantity.
Absolutely. And like I can tell you all firsthand, it may seem like someone's gaining followers and they're getting all this engagement, but there's so much going on behind the scenes that you don't know. Maybe their affiliate conversion is low. Maybe they're not getting any sponsors. Maybe they're constantly losing followers and just cycling people out. So it may look like it's all glitz and glamour, but really on the back end, it's not sustainable.
Yeah. And I mean, we're here to help you gain a healthy following.
Right.
We're here to help you like do it all and in a sustainable way where it's not like how often are you going to like be paying to be a part of this? Like you shouldn't have to pay anything. And so that's what we're here for.
So, a little piece of homework to send you all away with. Like Julia mentioned, we always recommend engaging in your niche, and that's the best way to gain organic followers. So, starting today until the next time you see us next week, every day set a timer for 30 minutes and make a list of accounts in your niche that you're going to go engage with. And see what happens. I want to know what happens. Send us a message. I think you'll find that you are getting more organic engagement and more organic followers overall. Another thing.
And it's free.
It's free. I mean, how can you say
free
no to that?
It's nice to do.
If you are focusing on growth and engagement, our Race to 10K is starting on April 14th. This is a 4-week challenge designed to help you reach your first or your next 10,000 followers. And we actually have a code for you. You can use code podcast for 30% off your monthly rate to Good Influencer. So we will see you all next week. But in the meantime, you can come hang out with us in the mastermind.
Until next time, follow us on YouTube and Instagram at Good Influencer. And if you're ready to join a whole community of influencers growing organically and getting paid to do what they love, join the Good Influencer Mastermind by visiting our website, good-influencer.com. If you're going to be an influencer, be a good one.